Hi, and welcome to Focus on English.
This is a calm English podcast for listening and real conversations.
Hello, and welcome back to the deep dive. It's great to have you with us.
It really is.
So today is going to be a little bit different from our usual episodes.
Yeah, just a little.
Usually we're, digging through a huge stack of articles about global news or tech or history.
Right, trying to figure out what's going on in the world. We're usually looking at what is happening.
Exactly.
But today, we're going to look at the tools we use to describe what's happening.
We're doing a vocabulary deep dive.
That's right.
And I'm really excited about this. Sometimes I read these articles we talk about, and I see a word that I think I know. I understand it when I read it. But then if I try to use it...
In a conversation.
Yeah, or in an email to my boss, I just freeze. I'm not sure if I'm using it correctly.
You are definitely not alone in that. There's a big difference between, just understanding a word and actively using it.
Right.
And our goal today is to bridge that gap. We've chosen 3 words from our source materials.
Just 3.
Just 3. And these are words that show up in academic papers, business reports, and even just casual stories.
And we're going to slow things down. No rushing today.
Nope.
We really want to unpack these words so that by the end of this, you feel confident enough to use them yourself.
Yeah.
To sound more professional, more precise.
And more natural. So the 3 words we're exploring today are assume, maintain, and affect.
Assume, maintain, and affect. They sound simple, but I have a feeling there's a lot more to them than meets the eye.
There is.
So let me jump right in. The first word, assume.
A-S-S-U-M-E. Assume.
Okay.
This one is a real heavy hitter. We see this word constantly in university settings, research papers.
But you also hear it all the time.
All the time. In the coffee shop, everywhere. So if we look at the core definition from one of our sources on academic verbs, to assume means to accept something as true.
Okay.
Even though you do not have definite proof.
Without proof. That's the key part, isn't it? It's different from knowing.
Completely different. It's like a mental shortcut. Your brain sees a situation and just fills in the missing information. For example, if I walk into a room wearing a big, heavy coat and a scarf,
Yeah.
you don't know the temperature outside. You haven't checked.
Right.
But what do you think?
I think it's cold. I assume it's cold.
Exactly. You assume it. It's a logical connection, but you don't have the hard facts yet.
It sounds a little bit like guessing.
It is similar. Our sources actually list speculate as a synonym, but assume feels a bit stronger than just a random guess.
How so?
It sort of implies you're acting as if it's true. You're confident enough to move forward with that idea.
Now, I have to bring this up because I'm sure our listeners have heard this joke.
Well, I know where this is going.
In English, there's a famous saying about this word, when you assume.
You make an ass out of you and me.
Yes.
It's a classic. It's a spelling joke, of course, because the word starts with A-S-S. But it's also a warning. It means that if you believe things without checking the facts, you can make a mistake. You can look foolish.
And we actually have a fascinating example of this in one of our sources about psychology and creativity.
Oh, yeah, this is a really interesting read.
It talks about how our assumptions can actually stop us from learning.
Yes. The text says, many people assume that creativity is something humans are born with.
I think I've made that assumption before.
I think we all have.
You look at a great painter or musician and you think, wow, they have a special gift. I wasn't born with that, so I can't do it.
Exactly. You believe it without checking the science. But the text explains that this is a false assumption.
It's not true.
Not at all. Creativity is a skill you can practice. But because people assume it's genetic, they never try. So in this case, assume is describing a barrier. It's a belief that limits you.
So assume can have a negative side. It can mean jumping to conclusions.
It can, but, and this is where it gets really useful, especially in a professional setting, it can also be a very powerful tool.
In business.
In business. We have a source here on IT security trends that uses assume in a really positive, strategic way.
Okay, what's the sentence?
It says, it is reasonable to assume that significant improvements will be made to IT security.
It is reasonable to assume. I like that phrase.
I love that phrase. If you're taking notes, you should write that down. It is reasonable to assume.
Why is that one so good?
Because it protects you. Imagine you're in a meeting. If you say sales will go up next month, you're making a promise.
And you're wrong.
You look bad. But if you say it is reasonable to assume sales will go up, you're saying based on the logic, based on the trends, this is what we think.
It makes you sound very measured, very prudent. You're not just guessing.
Exactly. It's a great way to express an opinion when you don't have 100% certainty, which, let's be honest, is most of the time.
True. Okay, let's try to put this into a real context. Let's say we're colleagues, we're discussing a project deadline.
Okay, I'll ask you about the status.
Go for it.
So, do you think the team is going to finish the project by Friday? We really need to send it to the client.
Well, looking at how fast they're working today, I assume they'll be done by Thursday afternoon.
Oh, that's great news. So we don't know for sure, but we can plan for it.
Yes. I assume everything is on track.
Perfect. You see how natural that sounds? You're not promising, but you are giving me your best logical thought.
And there's a noun form for this word too, right?
Yes. Assumption. To make an assumption. For example, I made the assumption that you drank coffee, so I bought you a latte.
That is always a safe assumption with me. I always want coffee.
I thought so. So that's word number one. Assume, to believe something without final proof.
All right, let's move on to our second word. We're moving from a thought process to an action. The word is maintain.
M-A-I-N-T-A-I-N. Maintain.
This is a great word.
It is. And according to the Oxford 3000 list in our sources, this is a B2 level word.
So intermediate.
Upper intermediate even. So if you're using it correctly, you're really showing off your English skills. You sound more fluent.
When I hear maintain, the first thing that pops into my head is cars. Car maintenance.
That is a perfect image to start with. Think about a car. If you drive it every day and you never do anything to it, you never change the oil or check the tires, what happens?
It breaks down, it gets rusty, it stops working.
Exactly. The natural way of the world is that things fall apart, they decline.
Right.
To maintain means to fight against that decline. It means to keep something at the same level or to make something continue.
I like that. It adds a layer of effort. It's not just keeping something, it's working to keep it.
Precisely. It's active.
Yeah.
Our source on health and lifestyle has a perfect example.
What's that?
It says, I try to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Oh, I relate to that. It implies that it's not easy.
Not at all.
You have to wake up, you have to choose the salad instead of the pizza, you have to go to the gym. You're maintaining your health against the temptation to be lazy.
Right. You're keeping the standard high. You can maintain all sorts of things. A building, a friendly relationship with a coworker.
Oh, that's a good one.
In a meeting, you might try to maintain eye contact to show you're listening.
Yes. If you look away, you break the connection. You have to put an effort to maintain the eye contact.
Exactly. Now, this is where it gets really interesting for our learners. Maintain is a beautiful, slightly formal word.
Right.
But in casual spoken English, we often use a phrasal verb instead. Do you remember which one was in our notes?
I think I saw this. Is it stick to?
That's the one. Stick to.
Like glue.
Exactly like glue. To stick to something means to keep doing it, to persist, to not quit.
So they mean almost the same thing.
They're very close synonyms, but the vibe is different. Maintain sounds professional. Stick to sounds determined.
So if I'm giving a presentation to the board of directors, I might say, we need to maintain our current strategy.
Yes, that sounds very polished. But if we're just chatting over lunch, you might say.
I really need to stick to my diet.
Exactly.
I see the difference. Maintain is about the standard. Stick to is about not quitting.
Let's try to use both of them in a conversation. Let's stick with the exercise theme.
Okay. I'll ask you about your workout routine. So you're looking very fit these days. You must be at the gym all the time.
Well, thank you. I honestly try to maintain a healthy routine, but it's not easy.
Is it hard to find the time?
It is. Ideally, I go running 3 times a week. It's really hard to stick to that schedule when I'm busy, but I know I need to maintain my health if I want to feel good.
Did you hear that? That was a perfect combination. You want to maintain the result, the health,
Right.
but you have to stick to the action, the schedule.
That is a great way to remember it. Maintain the outcome. Stick to the habit.
Okay, before we leave this word, I noticed one other use of maintain in our news sources. It said, the politician maintains that he is innocent.
Ah, yes. This is a slightly different meaning, but you will hear it in the news. In this case, maintain means to insist on an opinion.
So to claim something is true.
To claim something is true, usually when other people disagree. He maintains his innocence, means he keeps saying he's innocent, even if people don't believe him.
He's holding up his story, maintaining his position.
Exactly. But for general conversation, I'd say focus on the first meaning, keeping something going.
Got it. So we have assume thinking without proof,
Yeah.
And maintain working to keep something going.
And now for word number 3.
And I feel like we need a warning siren for this one. This word confuses everyone.
It really does. Native speakers, advanced learners, everyone struggles with this one sometimes.
The word is affect. A-F-F-E-C-T.
And the confusion here is almost entirely between affect with an A and effect with an E.
They sound almost exactly the same.
Almost identical.
So can we solve this problem once and for all? What is the secret?
The secret, and our grammar sources are very clear on this, is to look at the grammar of the sentence. In like 90% of cases, affect with an A is the verb.
The action word.
It's the action word.
Yeah.
And effect with an E is the noun, the result.
Okay. A for action. Affect is the verb.
There's a great acronym for this. It's RAVEN.
Raven, like the blackbird.
Yes. R-A-V-E-N. Remember, affect is a verb. Affect is a noun.
That is brilliant. Raven. Okay, I will remember that. So today we're focusing on the V in raven, affect, the verb.
Right. So to affect means to influence something or to cause a change in something.
Could cause a change. Okay.
Let's look at the example from our source on reading strategies. It says, the choice of reading strategy can affect how much you learn.
Okay, let's apply the raven rule. It's something doing an action. The strategy changes the learning. So it's the verb, affect.
Exactly. You can replace it with the word influence. The strategy can influence how much you learn.
Got it. We also have a source discussing community. It says, lack of community spirit can affect how individuals relate to the group.
It influences the relationship. It changes how people feel.
Think about the weather. That's the most common small talk topic in the world. How does the weather affect you?
Oh, well, if it's raining and gray, it definitely affects my mood. Get a little bit sleepy.
The rain does the action. It pushes on your mood. It affects you.
And the change in my mood. That's the effect. With an E.
I see how they work together now.
Yeah.
The rain affects verb, me. The effect, noun, is sleepiness.
You've got it. Now, why is this word so important? Why not just say change?
Yeah, why not?
Because affect implies a direct link, a cause and a result. It's a very logical, scientific-sounding word.
Oh, okay.
If you want to explain why something happened, affect is your best friend. It connects the dots. A affected B.
And using it makes your English sound a bit stronger, doesn't it?
Much stronger.
Yeah.
Instead of saying the new law has a bad effect on business, you can say the new law affects business negatively.
That is much punchier. It's shorter and stronger.
It is. Okay, let's try a quick dialogue to lock this in. Let's talk about learning English, since that's what we're doing.
Okay, sounds good.
You can ask me about study methods.
Okay. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts in English lately. Do you think just listening really helps? Does it affect my speaking skills?
Absolutely. Even passive listening affects your brain's ability to recognize patterns. And eventually, that input affects your output.
So what I put in affects what comes out.
Exactly. You cannot have one without the other. Your habits affect your success.
I really feel the meaning there. It's all about impact.
So we have our 3 words: assume, maintain, and affect.
You know, as we were just talking, I realized there's a bit of a story connecting these 3 words.
Oh. How do you mean?
Well, think about doing anything difficult, like learning English.
Okay.
First, you have to assume it's possible. You have to believe you can do it, even without proof that you'll succeed.
The mindset.
Then you have to maintain the effort. You have to stick to the routine day after day, even when it's hard.
The action.
And finally, that consistency affects the outcome. It creates the change you wanted.
That is a beautiful way to synthesize it. It's like the life cycle of success. Thought, action, result.
It really shows that vocabulary isn't just a list of words to memorize.
No, it's a toolkit for thinking. Completely. And for our listeners, the goal this week isn't just to memorize the definitions. It's to catch these words in the wild.
Yes. When you're reading the news, look for that phrase, reasonable to assume. See who is making assumptions.
And when you're listening to a podcast or watching a movie, listen for what the characters are trying to maintain. Are they maintaining a secret? Maintaining their dignity?
And when you're writing an email, just pause before you hit send. Look for where you described a change. Can you use affect to make that sentence stronger?
Yes. This delay will affect the timeline.
That's a power move. It sounds professional and direct.
It does.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the S in assume
to the raven in effect.
We hope you feel a little more equipped to handle these words. And remember, you don't have to be perfect.
Not at all.
You just have to maintain your practice.
And don't assume you'll get it right the first time.
And hopefully this episode affects your English in a positive way.
Okay, I think we've done enough wordplay for one day.
I think so too. Thank you so much for diving in with us today. It's been a pleasure to geek out on words with you.
Always. Keep listening, keep reading, and keep speaking.
We'll see you on the next deep dive. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening. If this podcast helps you practice English, feel free to subscribe. See you next time.